Welcome back, brave adventurers, to our ultimate masterclass on the world's most mind-boggling history mysteries. After miraculously surviving the fierce ocean currents and the terrifying air bombs of the Bermuda Triangle, today we are catching a flight straight to our neighbor, China. Put on your seatbelt and an invisible gas mask, because we are about to break into one of the most heavily fortified, extravagant, and dangerous tombs on the entire planet. That's right, today's destination is the tomb of Qin Shi Huang. He was the first emperor of a unified China, who spent over 30 years of his life constructing this eternal underground world. Qin Shi Huang mobilized the labor of over 700,000 workers to serve this massive project. This tomb is so famous that even those who aren't into history have likely heard of it. Everyone knows about the lifelike terracotta army that stands guard day and night beneath the earth. But what truly makes global archaeologists shudder is a completely different secret. For over half a century, not a single person has dared to open the main palace of the mausoleum. It is all because of a legend that sends chills down your spine. That legend speaks of deadly rivers of Mercury, flowing endlessly around the emperor's coffin. This thrilling story begins with the records in the monumental Records of the Grand Historian by Sima Qian. He was a famous historian who lived hundreds of years after the Qin dynasty. Sima Qian described the tomb as a miniature replica of the entire Chinese empire underground. Beneath the earth, there are plenty of palaces, towers, and thousands of officials made of stone. But the most shocking part lies in the passage describing the river systems. He stated that Mercury was used to fashion 100 artificial rivers. From the Yangtze and the Yellow River to the vast ocean, all were simulated using liquid metal. The royal court even used mechanical devices to drive them to flow in a continuous cycle forever. On the ceiling of the tomb, artisans inlaid brilliant gemstones. They represented the sun, the moon, and a starry sky shimmering brightly. Meanwhile, on the floor was the geographical model of the country, with rivers made of highly toxic chemicals. Imagine walking into a dark, deep underground space. You are surrounded by an atmosphere choking with lethal toxins, and shimmering silver liquid rivers are coursing around a palace of gold and jade. For a long time, people thought this was just an exaggeration in historical texts. Modern scholars used to believe this was merely a trick to heighten the majesty of the tyrannical emperor. Who could be crazy enough to gather tens or hundreds of tons of mercury, a scarce substance at the time? Isn't dumping a massive hoard of toxic chemicals down a deep hole just a waste of money? But wait, modern science once again stepped in to verify the truth. Scientists wanted to see if ancient history was just spinning yarns. In the 1980s, large-scale geological surveys were conducted. Chinese experts continued with high-tech scanning in the early 2000s. They used advanced equipment to measure the chemical elements in the soil around the burial mound, and the results came back shocking the entire world. The mercury levels in the central area of the tomb were abnormally high. It was 20 to 100 times higher than in the surrounding land. Further detailed studies even brought to light a stunning distribution map. This mercury concentration map perfectly matched the geographical layout of ancient river systems. This means the historian Sima Qian was telling the absolute truth. Beneath that mound of earth, a network of rivers filled with liquid mercury truly exists. So, who was the culprit behind Qin Shi Huang's crazy decision? The answer lies in his terrifying obsession with death. During his lifetime, the emperor had a desperate quest for immortality. He feared old age, he feared death, and he feared losing his supreme throne. Qin Shi Huang sent thousands of Taoist monks everywhere to search for the elixir of life. And he was tricked painfully by the Fangxi, the alchemists of that era. They told him that mercury was a magical liquid of the universe. It could restore youth and help humans attain immortality. Ironically, it was this very elixir of life that turned out to be the poison that ended his life. Consuming these mercury-laden pills every day caused him to suffer severe poisoning. Qin Shi Huang began to experience paranoia, mood swings, and passed away at the age of 49. Yet, even in death, his mentality did not change at all. He was determined to bring this magical liquid into the afterlife to continue ruling as a hegemon. Mercury is a liquid metal that shimmers beautifully like silver. It never solidifies at room temperature and possesses an extremely high light reflectivity. To the ancients, this liquid represented the eternal flow of time. Additionally, Qin Shi Huang knew all too well that mercury was incredibly dangerous. The mercury vapor rising in the enclosed space would form an invisible wall. This toxic gas wall stood ready to eliminate any grave robber who dared disturb his slumber. It was the ultimate automatic defense system of the ancient world. But how could people manufacture hundreds of tons of mercury in such a primitive era? How could the Bronze Age handle industrial production on such a grand scale? Archaeological science found the answer in a bright red mineral called cinnabar. Cinnabar is the most common mercury-bearing ore found in nature. To extract liquid mercury, the ancients used a pyrometallurgical method. They roasted the cinnabar ore at high temperatures to release mercury vapor. Afterward, they channeled this vapor through a cooling system to condense it back into liquid. This process required a colossal supply of cinnabar ore. It needed a chain of metallurgical furnaces operating continuously for years. Historians discovered clues about an incredibly unique woman. Her name was Ba Qing, a figure of supreme power at the time. She was known as the biggest cinnabar mining tycoon of the Qin Empire. This woman owned massive cinnabar mines in what is now the Sichuan region. She was so wealthy that Qin Shi Huang deeply respected and feared her. The king honored her as a virtuous woman and built a special monument for her. In all likelihood, the entire volume of mercury flowing in the tomb was supplied by her conglomerate. This was certainly the largest and most toxic commercial contract in ancient history. Besides its spiritual and defensive purposes, mercury also played another technical role. This role was vital and unexpected. It served as a superlative natural preservative. Mercury has extremely powerful antiseptic properties against all organisms. It is capable of killing all types of bacteria, mold, and parasites. It completely halts the natural decomposition process of organic matter. The mercury vapor filling the entire mausoleum space kept everything pristine. The emperor's bronze coffin would not rust away. His garments of jade and silk would not rot over time. The precious wooden burial goods would maintain their original colors. It created an absolutely sterile environment deep underground. Thanks to this, Qin Shi Huang's underground world has been preserved for over 2,000 years. It is precisely because of this river of toxins that scientists remain helpless today. Combined with automatic crossbow traps ready to fire when anyone enters. Even today, the Chinese government still chooses to keep the main palace doors tightly sealed. They absolutely do not conduct any direct excavations into the main burial chamber. 21st century technology is not yet capable of handling this risk. We cannot control the massive volume of mercury vapor that would escape if the tomb were opened. Opening it carelessly would trigger a terrifying environmental catastrophe. The entire surrounding population would suffer from poisoned air and water sources. At the same time, the sudden change in humidity would instantly destroy the artifacts. The terracotta statues would lose their paint pigment within seconds of exposure to oxygen. The tomb of Qin Shi Huang therefore remains perfectly intact as one of the greatest mysteries on the planet. Thus, we can see that the legendary River of Mercury is not a magical spell of the devil. It is completely a masterpiece of metallurgical engineering from the ancient world. It is the product of the paranoia of a great but tyrannical emperor, and it operates based on the raw laws of chemistry in nature. That silver river stands as a stark warning to posterity. It is the price of tyranny and humanity's fear of death. Qin Shi Huang built an eternal empire out of poison, only for that very poison to imprison him in solitude beneath the earth for millennia. For over 2,000 years, not a single soul has been able to touch or speak with him. He has everything underground, but possesses nothing at all. This story teaches us a profound lesson about life. Immortality does not lie in preserving the physical body with toxic metals. True immortality lies in the values we leave behind for this world. Thank you for joining me on this breathtaking tomb break-in. We went through some sharp scientific twists together, didn't we? History isn't dry at all like you might think. It is packed with thrilling, fascinating, and sometimes very comical details. If you love these chaotic exploration stories, please support the channel. Your curiosity is my greatest motivation. Leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next episodes. Now, here's the most important question for you. Which mystery do you want us to dissect in the next episode? Will it be an expedition to find the lost golden city of El Dorado deep in the jungle? Or shall we fly over to Egypt to decode the deadly curse of the pharaohs? Any mystery always hides highly interesting scientific angles. Leave your thoughts in the comments below to let me know. I will read them all and prepare another super chaotic script for you. For now, it is time to say goodbye to the Emperor of Qin. Wish you all a new day filled with energy to explore and learn. Always keep a cool head when facing mythical rumors online. Science and objective knowledge will always be our guiding light. Don't be fooled by groundless, sensational gimmicks to attract views. Our younger generation needs logical thinking and a deep understanding of history. Share this video with your friends to spread useful knowledge together. Each interaction of yours helps the science-loving community grow day by day. We will build a highly civilized and fun history playground together. Feel free to pack your bags with confidence and explore the wide world around you. The Earth still holds many wonders waiting for your footsteps. Live colorfully and stand strong against all of life's storms. The tomb doors have closed, and we must return to reality. Thank you to my brave adventurers once again. Wish you wonderful experiences on your upcoming trips. See you at the next promised lands of this beautiful planet. Peace out, my knowledge-loving youth. Goodbye, and see you in the next episode.